Okay, start.
All right, so this is our workforce development survey for Contra Costa College. We're here with Lee Cummings, who is a industry expert in video production. He's been in the industry for about over 2 decades. So
It's a long time.
exactly, specializes in commercial production. Has also shot a few feature films. One, I might add, just got purchased, and I will set our timer and we'll just do 10 minutes of conversation here.
Okay.
Um, so basically, all we're doing is interviewing people to find out what are the current best practices and industry trends with your industry, video production. So the first question I want to ask you is, what would you recommend students practice or learn to prepare for the industry of video production?
Hmm. Uh, well, obviously, I think that they need to learn all kind of the aspects of video production, like as far as like setting up a camera. Um, Editing is super huge. I mean, these days you have to do everything if you're going to start a business.
Hmm.
You have to be kind of a one-stop shop, kind of mom and pop store, right? You can't just say, "Oh, I only want to edit," or "I only want to do X, Y, and Z," because if you're not in LA, if you're in the city, you're going to probably be doing a lot more commercial work. Um, I mean, you can, diversify for sure, but I think editing probably would be a good start, to try to get some jobs and stuff like that. I mean, VFX, dabbling in that a little bit. I feel like, if I knew more about that, I could probably get some other jobs, especially if I was more versed in that. But, I started off in editing more so than anything else. I mean, I've been shooting forever, but to be able to kind of be able to do the whole gambit. I mean, like you can't, if you're gonna have a production company, you can't, you know, hire other people because there's not everyone's got a camera these days. Everyone's brother can shoot, so the margins aren't very high. So if you can do everything, you can kind of keep that, under your belt and be able to, not hire other people to do other things for yourself. So I think that,
Okay.
yeah.
So but you would recommend learning how to use a camera, right?
Yeah, I'd recommend the basics. I mean, a lot of stuff what people are doing these days is like, I think there's a lot of YouTubers out there these days. I mean, I'd say concentrating some cool editing techniques,
Okay.
know how to use a camera, but I think that you can, because the potential is there's a lot of like, self-made people out there that think they can shoot. That's great, but what do you do with that footage? Like people are shooting 4K and be like, I can shoot 6K with my phone. I mean, like all kind of crazy stuff. So now you can take that footage and make it into something. So I think, learning about editing and turning something into a story or, a lot of people are vlogging these days and they have so much footage and they don't have time to be editing their own stuff. So I think people could sell themselves as more of an editor, as a $20 an hour job as opposed to going into a coffee shop or going to Costco and making, $12 an hour or $15 an hour. So you could probably, make $20 an hour easily by editing footage for people. So if you're going to get into business quickly, I think editing would be a great spot. Get a good computer, be able to, versus some sort of laptop so you can be quick on the go, especially with the carnivorous, 19 virus going around. A lot of people are working from home these days. And for the next 3 or 4 months, I think when it dies down, people will see that that would be better suited and get into color. I mean, Da Vinci, I can't stress anymore, Da Vinci, Da Vinci, Da Vinci. I mean, like I'm a Premiere guy too. And I was an Apple guy, for many years because I started with 1.1 Final Cut Pro, which was the inception of Final Cut. And I paid $10,000 for my computer, and these days you can pay like 1,500 for a nice laptop, $2,000, and then DaVinci's not going to cost you anything but $300 these days. So back in the day, you had to buy, I had to buy I bought all the cameras from the box camera from Blackmagic Ursa Mini. Well, before the Mini, but was just the box camera called the 2.5K, and then the 4K, the box one, and then it went, it went from there. I think it went from 1.2 to 2.5 to 4K to the big boy camera, and then it went to the Blackmagic Ursa Mini, and then Mini Pro, and then Mini Pro G.2. So